You know, I think a lot of people get stuck in the I'm just going to play low stakes mentality and they never move up and see what they're made of, right? And I would say the biggest difference between like low stakes and mid stakes is that bluffing becomes a lot more effective at mid stakes. And I can give you a good example of this, right? So if you're playing some like really low games and you've got ace king and maybe you just shove pre-flop, and what you see a lot of the time is players, you know, snap calling you with garbage like jack 10 offsuit, queen 10 offsuit, because it's low stakes. They don't really care. But when you're playing for a bit more, you know what I mean? Like we're playing right here, bluffing does become more effective because there's more at stake. And we do have a really good one to go over here today, guys. So, you know, hope you're ready for it. It's going to run for close to 20 minutes. But for those of you guys watching for the first time, you know, I always like to give a little background on myself. And basically, I've been playing for the last 2 decades, hop on about 4 times a week playing mid stakes. Now, I don't have one type of strategy like GT or ABC or whatever. I really focus on 2 things. The first is making good decisions, because at the end of the day, we do have control over that. And the second thing is I try and use strategies against my opponents and exploit them as much as possible, meaning, you know, I'm going to bluff without hesitating if I think somebody is weak. And after playing so many hands, you kind of pick up on these little things a lot quicker. Of course, as I'm getting in this, I also want to let you guys know we have an awesome community in the pinned comments section where you could talk to me one-on-one as well as with some other high-level members. Now, if you're stuck or hitting a wall at your current stake and just want to take things more seriously, highly recommend getting in there. And like I said, this is going to run for close to 20 minutes. So, you know, grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, some coffee, and let's just kind of like lock in. But, you know, really, I want to like you to hone in on what I'm saying, right? I think the biggest difference from what I've seen is, you know, going from low to mid stakes, bluffing is a lot more effective. And bluffing is a bit of an art form, man. You kind of get better at it the more you do it, you know what I mean? We did kind of kick things off here with that ace queen where we got that flush on that last hand, which is kind of interesting. And then here we had a 5-10 suited, and check this out, man. I think we would have got there on the river here with the spades, even though we had like no draws to go with this. Wow, look at this, re-raise after re-raise. I feel like player 2's got maybe 2 pair here. Whoa, another raise? All right, river card was a spade, man. So the spades got there, and kind of can't believe it. But they did. I got to imagine we would have been good here. But you never know. Anyways, another good-looking hand. Now, sometimes you sit down and you kind of just get these good hands back to back to back. It happens. But yeah, you guys are definitely going to want to stick around. Like I said, we have some really good spots to go over, so kind of just sit back and you know, get ready for it, man. We're doing this, man. All right, we got the king queen suited here. Obviously, we're gonna raise this one up, except nobody called, which kind of a little bit rough right there, man. Nothing I could do about it though. All right, we got them pocket 3s, man. Pocket 3s. See if we can make something happen with the 3s. You never know. Be nice to get a 3 here. We'll keep the fingers crossed, man. I feel like I flop pretty good with pocket 3s too. I don't know what it is. I feel like pocket 3s for me, I do better with it than pocket aces for some reason. Don't ask me why I feel that way. I just do. Okay? I just do. All right, so unfortunately, I could not make this call. Player 4 kicked it up to the 150 piece, which was kind of just, there was no way I could make that call. So we had to let that go. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. That would have been a bad call right there if I would have made that one, but whatever. All right, next time we got an 8-3 suited. You know, I'd consider button raising this if player 2 folds it. Let's see if he did. Nah, he didn't. So yeah, he went for it and kind of just had to let this go. It is what it is, y'all. All right, player 4 re-raised here. Now I'm glad I didn't raise it with the 8-3 suited. That big 8-3 suited, man. All right, so now we got a re-raise from player 2. And let's take a look at the players at the table. Looks like everybody's kind of just doing okay. No one's really doing too bad yet, or too good. So I kind of like to look at that when I sit down, man. Like, how's everybody doing? You know, see who's up, see who's down, whatever. All right, player 4 let that go. He folded it. All right, 8-4 offsuit. We are mucking this, man. We ain't playing no 8-4. No, sir. No, sir. Not this time. Now, can you believe this flop? 2 pair with the 8-4. Hopefully it doesn't fill up for the boat, man. Not like I was ever playing this, but... Oh my... Are you kidding me? That's crazy right there. That's some crazy stuff. Whatever, you know. All right, we got a 6-8 suited here. Now I'm going to call a raise here, or I'll put in a raise if everybody folds. It doesn't really matter to me. But here we go. So pretty standard small blind versus big blind. Let's see if he makes the call. If he re-raises, I'm going to make this call too. I'll tell you that much. We're going to play this 6-8 suited, man. We're going to play it. Okay, nothing there. I mean, we do have some runner cards for like miracle straights, flushes, but you know, I'm still gonna continue here anyways. Let's see what that turn card brings. Let's see a diamond on the turn, huh? Let's see a little diamond peel off right here. Come on now. Okay, it didn't, but we actually have an up and down straight draw. So you know what? Let's keep barreling. Let's barrel. Okay, let's do the little barrel right here. And he folded. Let's see that river card. Would we have got there? I got to imagine probably not. All right, we didn't. So our barrel worked on the turn right there. I like that. And I hope you guys like that too. Now we got a 9-10 suited, so we're going to open raise this one. This is another spot where I'm totally fine if somebody wants to re-raise us. Now, when you are playing mid-stakes, I will say that you're going to deal with more aggressive players pre-flop. It's pretty standard, you know. I think for me, I'm always kind of like paying attention how people are playing at the table after sitting down for like 20 or 30 minutes. But, you know, I'm also going to put them on a range. So, you know, even if we get re-raised here, you know, I'm thinking, okay, like, what are you re-raising with? You know, mid to high pocket pair, ace, king kind of stuff. Now, this wasn't a bad flop. I mean, we have an up and down straight draw. We have a pair of nines. We also have runner cards for flushes. So not bad. Turn card wasn't good though, but if this guy decides to put something out there, obviously I'm going to make a call. See if we can get there on the river, you know, with the straight. All right, river card was a 7 of spades. Kind of just have to check this one down. All right, fortunately we were good there. I wasn't really sure. I thought maybe he had a jack or something, but we took it down. So I'll pat myself on the back, and now we're starting to trend up a little bit. Hope you're not going anywhere, like I said, man, because we got some good stuff. It's going to be happening soon. But queen 4 suited, this is definitely a defend spot, so we are going to defend. Now we paired the 4. Not a whole lot to go with it. I just let this one go. Let's see what that turn card would have been. Pretty sure the turn was, yeah, it was a blank. I think that was a good fold right there, even though we did hit the board. You know. All right, 8-9 offsuit. Don't remember how I played this one. Let's see. All right, yeah, pretty standard position raise. Not a good flop, though, but I am going to continue anyways. Sometimes when you just put a little aggression in there, man, like it's enough to get the job done. And we got the job done. So on to the next one. And like I said, we're starting to trend up a little bit. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. All right, a few hands later here, we got a jack 4 suited. I love that jack 4 suited, especially like, even though we had the queen 4 suited just a second ago, I like the jack 4 better. Now we did hit top pair. Kicker's not very good. I'm actually okay checking this one back to the turn, you know. I'm okay with it. All right, turn card was a 3. I'm still okay just going to showdown here at this point. Did put a little, or no, I'm sorry, I just called there. I thought about putting a raise in. River card was an ace. Really not the card we wanted. But I got to call this guy anyways. And he turned over queen 10. So that was a good call by us. I don't think I could ever fold there, you know. if he has the ace, it's like, okay, you got the ace, man. We'll give it to you. But in that spot, we got to make the call, man. We got to make the call. All right, ace 10 offsuit. Got a little bit aggressive in this spot, okay? I'll tell you that. And sometimes I do. If I feel like somebody's just posturing, like I said, man, or maybe just weak, then yeah, of course, like, we'll make a move. Now we have two people in this hand, player one, and then I think player four might have raised here. I mean, there's obviously a lot of draws out there. I wasn't a believer, player four. The reason I'm not a believer is because it feels like this guy called. I mean, it's possibly as two pair, but like it just felt like more of a draw type of re-raise. Don't ask me how I know that. For example, like let's say that he had a set. Normally, you're probably just going to slow play the set to the turn, you know? You're not going to do that right there. A lot of the time, you're just not going to do it. So, didn't make a lot of sense. Turn card, we don't know if it would have been good or not, but I was putting him on more of a draw type of thing, and, you know, it is what it is, guys. It was definitely aggressive. Maybe looked a little bit risky, but I went for it. All right, anyways, next hand pocket eights. Still starting to trend up here, which is good. A lot of aggressive players at this table, and I think you've probably picked up on that by now, which is fine. But we are seeing a lot of aggression for sure. Player six, pick up sticks. I had to say it one time, y'all. I had to say it one time. You know, obviously we got pocket eights. We got to make a call here. We got to make a call, right? See if we can get that eight. No eight. And also just kind of a tricky spot for eights. I'm expecting him to continue anyways with basically anything here. Turn card was another jack, which was a good card for us. Okay, so now it's less like he's got the jack. River card was a jack. Do we go for some value here? Or do we just check? Now, I probably should have put something out there. That was my bad right there. So I probably, you know, could have squeezed a little bit more. It is what it is, guys. Don't hate me for it. Next time we got kings. So pretty nice. Kind of just recap on some of the hands in this one. We had ace queen, you know, to start things off. We've had pocket eights, king queen suited. Now pocket kings. And we had like an ace 10 offsuit. So we've had some decent hands to start this thing off, especially for like a shorter one here. Most definitely. Which, like I said, sometimes it just happens where you kind of just like keep getting, you know, hands after hands. It does happen. Anyways, here we are. All right, so I'm just going to let this one go. All right, 8-9 suited, and we are going to wrap things up on this because this was a weird spot, but definitely a nice looking hand, right? You know, 8-9 of diamonds, it just looks better when it's diamonds. You know what I mean? Like over spades or, you know, whatever. It just looks better. And, you know, here we are going to put in a raise. If we get re-raise, is totally fine. Almost prefer it. And we did. Player four is going to kick it up to the 55 piece, and we're going to make this call. Now, this flop was something, man. We flopped the biscuits here. Now, are the biscuits good? Most likely. I'm definitely putting this guy on having an ace a lot of the time. Now, if he has an overpair as well, he could have a diamond in his hand, so I have to figure out, do I want to slow play this, play it more aggressive? I really just don't want to see a diamond peel off on the turn or river, you know? Now, I'm just going to call here. Turn card was really good, didn't pair the board. Pot's kind of getting up there, but I'm expecting this guy to, you know, raise again here. And he did. He went pretty large, and there was no way I was going to slow play this because I really don't want to see a diamond peel off and then be in a weird spot, you know, even though the percentage of that happening is very low. Guess what? This guy's going to tank on this for a second. I would think if he has like ace king with a king of diamonds or ace queen with a queen of diamonds, he's making this call. Even ace jack sometimes might make this call with the jack of diamonds. But, you know, here we are. He's going to let the clock run down on it. And like I said, I could not slow play this. There was no way. I had to play this the way I did regardless. And he ended up folding it, but you know what would have happened here? Check this out. Diamond. Okay. All right. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you've been watching, haven't subscribed yet, do that. Get in that community in the pin comment and tap that like if you made it to the end, and we'll see you in the next one.